Next is from Sean Dizzy Blade TV, and the subject is the draft. What's up, guys? Love the show. Would like to chop it up live to talk these picks. Notice SmackDown drafted Seth Rollins at the start of the show and ended with The Fiend and Bliss. After he got drafted, he said the greater good is only getting better. With The Fiend playing with Owens at the end of the night, could we possibly be seeing Wyatt's puppets being brought to life, possibly with custom masks? Let me know what you think. Shout me out if you make the video. P.S. Dom and Ray going to SmackDown makes this even more sweeter. Conan, you the man, fam. Let's do this. Since this guy brings it up, let's do the SmackDown review right now. You up for that?
I haven't seen all of it. I only saw.
Oh yeah, well, trust me, it's mainly
all right.
kind of a throwaway show. But I'll tell you.
Go ahead. Let's go over it because there is some stuff I saw, and I'll talk about that. So go ahead.
Okay. Number one, just right off the bat, the draft are very, very boring.
Right.
I mean, they just haven't heard tell who's on each show with no drama or no nothing. And plus, two, they didn't really do this in order of talent level, or you know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't like Ricochet won in the third round, like ahead of a lot of guys. You know, so it's like it was kind of a very weird thing. But let's talk about it here. So the show opens up, and Stephanie just comes out and she announced the picks. Drew is Raw, Roman SmackDown, Asuka. That's kind of a weird pick, you know. So Seth Rollins, Asuka to Raw, Seth Rollins to SmackDown, and the Hurt Business all go to Raw, right? So they interview Rollins backstage, and he's like, you know, I guess he can't be the Monday Messiah anymore. He says about the message that's, you know, who knows what he's going to do. But as soon as they moved him, I'm like, oh, this is cool because now all these good stuff. You could tell that Fox wanted their best shit, okay? Because, you know, they got like Fox has the Mysterio, Dominic, Rollins stuff, and they got Roman, and it's like I think that was. I
also know this for a fact. I don't know what numbers they were expecting, but Fox is not happy with the numbers they're getting.
Right. So then they do a Big E versus Sheamus in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and this wasn't bad for a Falls Count Anywhere because they it was 15 minutes, and this had to be.
Who was it? Big E and
pre-taped. Big E and Sheamus.
Okay.
They fought all over the place. There's a lot of stunts, a lot of, you know, they went all through the building, all the parking lot, the parking garage and stuff.
Did they go through Flower or something? Because I saw them backstage with this.
Yeah, some fly, right. They went. It was like the, you know, just whatever gimmick you can have, the food, the flower, the catering, you know, threw eggs at the guy, just like every gimmick you could, you know, just completely overbooked, you know, for Falls Count Anywhere. But Big E beat him. All right.
Right.
And I guess they do want. I heard Billy Body is on Vince's show was saying that they're slating Big E for one of the WrestleMania main event spots, maybe, like if Rock falls through. So that's, you know, maybe we can get Billy on the show next week so he can fill us in on some of this. He's got some insight on the on what WrestleMania is shaping up to look like. So then,
well, that's why they separated them in the draft. Then,
yeah. Well, then they showed the interview. Kofi and Xavier Woods show back up. And you know, basically, I guess, you know, they're doing a corny scripted interview with them, like, bro. That's what they're like. You know, it's just weird when the New Day does interviews, they sound like advertisers, like they're advertising something. You know, like they're doing a commercial or something.
That's their style, and it's gotten them over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did you see? So Jey Uso comes out. He cuts a promo.
I saw this.
Yeah, this was good stuff. What did you think of this?
I just thought the same thing you said last week, that I don't think Jay is still comfortable, and you still see him smiling when Roman was talking to him. I'm like, bro, the guy's being serious and you're smiling. So it's almost like I don't think he's comfortable yet, but he's getting there. And Roman, again, great delivery, great heel promo.
Yeah. So they basically had to say they're going to have an I Quit match. And so I like the last line that he says, you know, but after you say I quit, there will be consequences. Yeah. So we'll see what that means, you know. So Roman's just going more and more heelish. So next, Stephanie comes out and she announces, because New Day mysteriously showed up, you know, they're going to get a title shot against Shinsuke and Cesaro. See, that's what I get. I mean, they're doing the draft, I get it and everything, but I like, you know, you would think your titles would be like in angles, like building up to them, but this is just they're just going to have a match.
They're just hot-shotting, bro. They're trying to make that show more interesting, and they're packing with more talent because, like I said, I don't think Fox is happy with the numbers they're getting.
Right. Yeah. So this is weird picks for second round.
Right.
AJ to Raw, Sasha to SmackDown, Naomi to Raw,
Right.
Bianca Belair to SmackDown,
Right.
and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to Raw. Okay.
Right.
I mean, I think I tweeted after this is like, if this was like a fantasy football draft, it's like I want to see these people's cheat sheets. Because like these are not like the order of
Right.
like if I say, hey, we're drafting the best talent to each show, it's like
Right.
Bro,
That's
they didn't
not
do anything.
second round talent. Yeah.
They did not make this like it's any type of like draft at all. That like you're drafting them in order. Like your first round in the NFL draft. It's like they did the first round of the draft, then they did they mixed the second round with the fourth round and drafted them all together. I don't know. This would have been so much. People don't know this.
I think it's more of a marketing ploy than anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
they should have had two people draft.
Yeah.
They should have two people
make it make sense.
These, right?
Right.
And what they could do in this is interesting. If you've ever done this, would be a great idea for the draft. Okay, in fantasy football, they have a thing called an auction draft. Okay, where basically you have a set, you have $275 to spend, right? And what we do in an auction draft, you'll say like, okay, we'll say Patrick Mahomes, $25,
right? And
somebody will say, I'll go 26. And somebody 27, you auction off the talent. That would be absolutely hysterical if they did that for it would be a long the show would be very long. But if you had like 10 people to draft and you were drafted, that would be a great way to do an auction draft, Let me see. So next, Matt Riddle and AJ Styles did a promo from his home.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of weird. I guess you can do that. It's no big deal.
Yeah, they're sending him to Raw. He was saying, "Oh, I'm not surprised that after everything I did for SmackDown, but it, I'm out."
Yeah, it kind of sucks because now he doesn't have a run with, he doesn't have a run with Rollins or the Mysterios or Roman or any. That's kind of
Oh, Riddle.
Yeah, no, AJ. Next one's Riddle and Hardy against The Miz and John Morrison. When's the last time The Miz and John Morrison won a match?
Who knows? But they're going to Raw, so that's probably why they've been beaten so mercilessly. But it's funny because Riddle had tweeted he wanted to tag with Jeff, and then Jeff responded that would be cool. And then Miz and Morrison tweeted back at them mocking them, so they put him in a match, which I thought was kind of funny.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know this. Riddle's finish is called the Bro Derek.
Yes, can you believe that?
Bo Derek is like super hot still, and she's like 60 years old. Mm-hmm. I follow her on Twitter.
I just thought when he used the Bo Derek, I was like, how many people know who that is?
From the movie 10.
Yeah, no, but
that's 1979. It's unbelievable.
Right.
She was one of the hottest girls in the history of hot girls. So then Lars Sullivan comes in and beats up everybody. So he's back.
He's not.
He's
not going to be back.
He just totally destroyed Riddle and Hardy and just demolished the Miz. Like a real good beatdown, like that guy that got hurt in NXT.
Yeah. What's it? Ridge Holland.
How funny would it have been if Lars Sullivan came out with Velveteen Dream, Enzo, and Joy Ryan, and they were team victimhood? Nothing.
The Lars Sullivan,
but
I'll tell you
what. You're right about this because what Lars Sullivan did.
Yeah.
He's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, get your shit in and apologize later.
Right.
What you got to do to get over, It's like, just get your shit and apologize later.
He's got a few new.
That's what a lot of guys do now. Is like we've seen that problem with Keith Lee. It looks like he's out there and he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers or hurt anybody or it's just like this guy's just he doesn't give a he's just annihilated these guys.
What are you trying to say, Joe?
Yeah, he's got a few new internet. What do you call it? Complaints and controversies. Some woman who was a fitness instructor, a yoga instructor. Lars, I guess, was harassing her on Instagram and trying to get pics off her and stuff, and she released all the screenshots. And then there was another old series of posts on a message board from Lars. One was like anti-Christianity, the other one was kind of racist. So
whatever.
It says here, it's reported today that WWE is aware of Lars' latest troubles online. It was also said that it's beyond safe to say that Lars does not have many supporters left in the locker room. However, one of those supporters has the ultimate say, and that may be the end of it. His top supporter is Vince McMahon. So, and
let me tell you something. In this thing, when he beat up Miz and just destroyed Riddle, he didn't touch Morrison. Maybe they're like, we've embarrassed Morrison long enough.
Yeah, right.
I do wish Lars would have gone and destroyed Otis, his lunchbox, Shotzi's tank, Retribution, Tozawa, and Little Jimmy. Nothing.
Yeah,
I like it.
Nothing.
Yeah, right.
So next they announced Ricochet to Raw, Jey Uso to SmackDown, Mandy Rose to Raw, Ray and Dominic to SmackDown, Miz and Morrison to Raw, and Ray and Dominic celebrate backstage. Okay, so they've been building up Bayley and Sasha for how long?
Well, years overall, you know.
So this was like an advert. I mean, they had the draft, right? So the draft kind of like sold itself. They advertised this, and they basically just went 2.5 minutes for a DQ, and just like this was just this was just I think a marketing ploy to make sure a lot of people watch the show. What are the rating? Joe, look up the rating for the show. I never saw what it did. If you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing is they recap the KO show with Alexa Bliss, which is a very good segment.
Right.
Alexa Bliss is doing very well in that. So then Kofi and Xavier win the SmackDown titles against Shinsuke and Cesaro. I thought that was, for what was coming up next, I thought that was weird, but I guess they're having another match this Friday as like their farewell, because they can't leave. I thought they actually said you can't bring the titles can't go to the other show, right?
Well, as far as I'm not sure, but as far as the ratings, it says according to Showbuzz, daily SmackDown averaged 2.086 million viewers, which was down from last week's 2.155.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, because this was boring.
Despite the draft hype, the ratings were down.
Yeah, they hyped the draft and they didn't really give a draft. They just named the people that were going to be on the shows. There was no draft process. They just announced
a very exciting draft, right? And it wasn't a very exciting draft at all.
It wasn't a draft. You had one person. A draft is like you're competing against other people drafting, right?
That's a WWE draft, and it was not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then after they win, they announce them going to Raw.
I found myself on 80% of the people that were picked going, okay, big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This you could have missed this show because then you see all you had to do is just go look online who got picked because there was no, whatever. So then they announce Stephanie comes out after the match. Big E comes out to celebrate with them, and they say Kofi and Xavier to Raw, and they're like, "Hey, wait, what about Big E? What about Big E? What about him?" And then they say Big E to SmackDown. And they're like, "Oh," and they act all sad.
Right.
Then Dana Brooke to Raw, Otis to SmackDown, and Angel Garza to Raw. So that was interesting. And really nothing's going on. So then Otis noted he was drafted to SmackDown, and he thought that his lawsuit would be over, but then they just said there's a continuance.
Right.
This is ridiculous. It's like the corniest. I don't know why they should just scrap this whole thing.
Right.
The funniest thing, Russo on his show talks about how on their show all the time, like how many characters call the other characters cowards. And sure enough, Sasha Banks delivered a promo backstage. Banks called Bayley a coward and said she should have known that Bayley would get herself disqualified. This is just a lame. This did nothing for the angle. Just all corny, so corny. So the main event's going to be the Fiend and Kevin Owens, the Firefly Funhouse. He's a really cool entrance in that Thunderdome. The Fiend does, but it was, bro. His entrance started at like 9:38 at night, and I don't think the match started until like between that entrance and commercial and Kevin Owens. I don't think the match started till like 9:47. I was watching. I was timing it.
How was the match? I don't think I've ever seen those two guys.
Really good. Probably the best Fiend match so far. Did you see this, Conan?
Yes, it was a good match.
Easily the best Fiend match.
Yeah,
it was just good work, and Owens worked.
I just think with a 2-hour show, and you've got the Fiend thing that's hot, the Roman Reigns thing that's hot, Ray who's coming over with his hot storyline. You're gonna have 3 hot storylines right there, and whatever Sami Zayn in, that's gonna be entertaining. So that's a show that might start getting better. You know what I'm saying? It already has.
Yeah. So they actually got the stories on this show. I guess if they announced the Fiend is staying in SmackDown, or going to.
I don't know if they did. I would think so.
I think they did. Whatever if it is, it's a good call because now they have a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah. And
Raw looks like it's going to be the Retribution versus the Hurt Business for their whole show. All right, so that was our SmackDown review as part of the mailbag because it was a relevant question. But no, I did not like the show because of just having Stephanie come out. I mean, they could have had Adam Pearce draft for the other one show and Stephanie. They could have, if they would have known how boring this would be, like if they would have known this.
Yeah, they should have made it more fun, bro. You got a lot of eyes on the product. That's when you're using all these marketing ploys to get the people to watch, and then you give them this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
which
was a waste.
There's some supposed draft spoilers for tonight. Do you guys want to hear them?
No.
Okay.
Next one is we don't give out spoilers on the show.
Well, by the time the show airs, it wouldn't have been a spoiler.
Okay, who's the guy? Let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's hear him.
Yeah. WrestleVotes has been bang on the money with draft spoilers thus far, including the split of the New Day, and they are saying that Bray Wyatt is headed to Monday nights. Presumably, Alexa Bliss would follow suit. A former foe of the Fiend, Braun Strowman, is also expected to make a move back to Monday nights, according to Dave Meltzer. It's expected that the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, will be headed to SmackDown, as Woods and Kingston are bringing the SmackDown titles over to Raw. They're not going to split up the Usos, and that's about it for those spoilers. But because you mentioned Bray, so I looked it up, and that's what came up right away.
Oh, so they're going to Raw. Well, that kind of sucks for SmackDown. I thought they'd have all those good shows, but I think they're keeping Bray because he looks good in that Raw Underground thing, so they're going to keep him on Raw.